This is Andrew Tate. If you've never heard of the guy before, let me just give you the introduction that I had to him. Check this clip out. I think this is from, July 11th, 2022 is when this came out.
If you ever see a man who's talking about food, oh, I had this amazing steak at this one restaurant. This steak is so amazing. He's broke. He's a brokey.
I thought this was a joke when I saw it, for real. He runs around calling people brokies all the time because they like food, apparently. It's so cringy. Oh, my God.
Because if the steak was so amazing, he'd eat every day. And he'd eat every day to the point where he doesn't want to talk about it anymore. But he doesn't do that because he can't afford it. You understand?
No, I don't understand. Look, I can eat as many Crock Bites as I want. I have these little pieces of cheddar cheese that you can buy. They're called Crock Bites. And they're reasonably cheap. They're not that expensive. I think they're like $3 a bag. I have enough money in my bank account to buy 60, count them, 60 bags of Crock Bites if I wanted. I mean, I could have as many Crock Bites as I want, but I don't buy that many Crock Bites. You know why? Not because I don't have the money, but because I understand moderation. Apparently, this guy doesn't. I want to enjoy Crock Bites in the future, so I don't sit here cramming them into my mouth 24/7. Like, everything about this is ridiculous, but okay, let's keep listening.
So whenever you see anyone talking about bragging about the meal they cooked or this ingredient they got or that steak they had, just do, because people do that to me all the time, and I'm just sitting there going, you're poor, interesting. Oh, you're broke, yes, okay. Oh, you went on your birthday and had that steak. Oh, wow, once a year. Broke talk, brokies, real G's, every day, minor, ain't a thing.
This guy is dumb as dog shit, seriously. I don't know how he got famous or how we got where we are, but yeah, he has more views or more Google searches than Donald Trump, seriously. At least he did at the time, back in July 2022. He's not as, searched anymore, but, as it turns out, he is a human trafficker. If you know absolutely nothing about him, this is a debate that he took part in with some people. It's not even really a debate because they don't fully disagree with him on anything. But he's a human trafficker who has now been charged in Romania. He was using the human trafficking method called the lover boy technique to trap women and basically sell them for money. That's the bottom line with it. So I wanted to watch this debate with him and some feminists. They're not even feminists. None of them said that they're feminists. They all agree with him with a bunch of stuff. So anyway, let's give this a listen. If you haven't seen the others, don't sweat it. This stands independently of the rest. I'll provide context if it's missing. But yeah, let's give this a listen. See what he has to say for himself.
I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot. I'm seen as used goods. You're seen as a high value man. Yep. So if you're me, then what? What's next?
Yeah, it's really interesting. And it's interesting you make that observation, and you are correct. That's the difference between the masculine and the feminine. It's unfair.
There is no difference, really. And he's perpetuating the idea that there is a difference.
Yes, the world's not fair, but that's the difference between the masculine and the feminine. Men are respected for going through things and surviving, and women are the complete opposite. They're shamed for going through things and surviving. If you look at women love scars on men for a reason. He's gone through something.
They're war wounds.
Yeah, men don't want a chick covered in scars. I'll say this right now, that a woman, the more trauma she goes through, the more masculine she naturally becomes. And if you were to give me my ideal woman, I would not have wanted her to have a hard life and a bunch of trauma. I like the idea of her having a soft feminine life and being a soft person, and I can take care of her and protect her. Whereas
that doesn't matter to everybody. I'm okay with whatever. Doesn't matter to me. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's helpful that somebody has had similar experiences to me because it helps us relate better, he is speaking for all men right now when he does not have that right at all. Not all men feel this way.
As a man, to be a good man, you need to have been through a bunch of trauma, because if you haven't been through trauma as a man, you're a weakling. You have to have been through a bunch of shit. So the masculine and the feminine is a very interesting point there. As for I don't know your history. I don't know the past, but we can just talk in generalizations in regards
people
to
like me, I guess, under the same umbrella. It doesn't have to be personal.
I don't know any of it, but we'll give generalizations. One of the main reasons that men are scared of a female with history is because it makes the man insecure. And
I'm not insecure about somebody with a history or whatever. What? Speak for yourself. He's literally just telling us right now that he is insecure about stuff. Like, is he not, like, embarrassed by everything that he says all the time?
Scared dogs bite. So this is why men will snap or get angry quick, or they'll bring up your if you get in an argument with him, he'll bring up your history, whatever. But a lot of it is insecurity, and it's not insecurity because the man is insecure. The women, the female paradigm in society convinces men, any man who says anything, you're insecure. It's not insecure in that way. It's insecure in a very realistic, logical way. Like I was saying earlier, she's had a lot of life experience. Let's be honest. Am I the richest guy she's ever had? No. Am I the most famous guy she's ever had? No. Am I the best looking guy she's ever had? No. Like, what's keeping her here? And then part of it comes down to, well,
your personality? Yeah, I mean, is he completely foreign to the idea that somebody can have a decent personality? I mean, he obviously doesn't, so I guess it makes sense that he would be worried that, like, somebody wouldn't be attracted to him because of his personality, right?
Am I second place? If she could do better, would she do better? Like, there's a whole bunch of insecurity involved. And that's where tiny things.
There isn't insecurity involved in any of this stuff. Like, what's he talking about?
It's like I know it sounds like dumb shit. Tiny things about the favorite car brand become more important than ever, right?
No, they don't. Are you kidding me? This guy is ridiculous on so many levels. He is showing us his insecurities. Like, they're on full display for us to see right now. It's embarrassing.
Right? It's your job as a woman, regardless of how much sexual history you've had or what guy you're with, etc. It's your job as a woman to make your man feel secure in the fact and make him feel like a man, like Auntie was saying, make him feel like the man no matter what he does, so that he feels like you really, truly believe he's the best choice for you on the planet. That's your job to do. Now, if you've had a checkered past, that's perhaps more difficult. You need to be more tactful with it, more tactical about it. But you have to achieve the same result. You have to do the exact same thing, right? So, yeah, it's easy for me if I get a 21-year-old virgin from some village in Slovakia and I'm multimillionaire Andrew Tate. Of course, it's a very easy. She's never had better. She'll never get better. She's never been anywhere. Boom, boom, easy one, right? But like you said,
just the way that he frames everything is fucking disgusting. He frames it as though women are like property. That he frames it like women are property, like he's getting them and keeping them and they're easy to get. It's just insane.
The world's not so idealistic. The reality is that people have had relationships, etc., etc. But a man is happiest in the relationship when he feels like man of the house and when he truly feels like you believe he's the best man that you could possibly ever get and have ever gotten. Because a man is jealous. I'll tell you something. I used to say this to girls as like a joke. And I used to say,
truth in jest.
I used to say it, no, but I say it as a joke. So you cheated on me before I met you. And she'd be like, what do you mean? I didn't even know you. It's like, yeah, you fucked that guy before I even knew you. You cheated on me. And they used to laugh, whatever. But that's how men think.
No, it's not actually how men think. His insecurity is on full display here. You can see it clear as day. And I honestly cannot believe that he did a media tour putting that insecurity on full display for everybody to see. It is deeply embarrassing.
The male mind. Like, I love you, and you've been by who? But I didn't know you. I don't care if you knew me. You should have waited. What do you mean you didn't? But that's the male mind.
Are you kidding? No, it's not the male mind. This is insane.
So he is at competition with all of your exes and all of your lifestyle and all the things you've done permanently. And it's down to you as a woman to sit there and go, how do I make him secure in himself and secure in his masculinity and make him believe that investing in me is still worthwhile because I still truly value him, despite the fact that I could do X, Y, Z. I hope that gives some clarity, but that's the answer.
So do you know what I would have said? I would have said, oh, for anybody in that situation, come off social media and just raise your child. So the person who meets you's got nothing to. Like, I never knew you. I never knew who you were because I've never heard of you before. So when I spoke to you, by the way the way you're saying like what's on the internet, let me just say, you're a nicer person than what you sound like. Like what?
Well, he's plenty nice, sure, yeah, but he's also a complete scumbag who believes that women are property.
You perceive to be, like you were saying, oh, that Pearl's got, oh, there she's a whore, and I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about you. And I was saying that if you didn't have nothing on social media about your checkered past, and you met somebody, the same way how I met you and I conversed and I got to know you is the same way that they would.
Yeah, and it is interesting, and it's also back to the masculine and feminine, right? Because I'm all over the internet, and supposedly I'm misogynist and I'm evil and all this crap, right?
That's correct. He is a misogynist. He is very, very sexist. Now, evil? Is he evil? Evil is hard to quantify, but, you know, I guess I would categorize human traffickers as evil. So, yeah, that's a fair assessment. He's a human trafficker. He's evil.
But if I meet a girl, even if she disagrees with me, in fact, I'll say this. I've never, ever met a single female who's ever come up to me and disagreed with me. Every woman comes up to me and loves what I says. But let's imagine I met this imaginary girl. She was sitting with me. And if I were to have a 10-minute conversation with her, by the time I explain the level to which they tried to destroy me, how they tried to freeze all my bank accounts, raise illegal charges against me, put me in jail for things I didn't do.
Okay, no, those were all 100% completely and totally justified when... You know what happened? A girl... So he was basically getting a bunch of girlfriends, not telling them that he already did this a billion times and already had a bunch of girls doing this for him. Not telling them that he already had a girlfriend, basically, or quote-unquote girlfriend. Not telling them that he didn't value them or care about them at all. He's making them fall in love with him and then convincing them to get in front of a camera and basically do... You know, similarly to OnlyFans. I don't think OnlyFans existed when he started this business or whatever. This is about 10 years ago when it started, and this is exactly how he got rich. And this is, to my knowledge, still going on. He convinced girl after girl after girl to get in front of a camera and split their money with him. Half of the girls, or even more, had never done this before. Had never, gotten in front of a camera like this in their life. They were, to my knowledge, almost all of them were his girlfriend before. Once he convinced them to do this, he puts them in a house and he took away their passport and took away their everything, cell phone and all of it. One of the girls finally managed to make a phone call to somebody in the United States because she's from the U.S. originally. Told her friend what was going on. Her friend called the U.S. Embassy in Romania where this was happening, where he moved because it's harder to be convicted of sex crimes like this. I mean, these are his words that he said. So they called the U.S. Embassy in Romania. They investigated, raided his building, and found girls in his basement. There's been an investigation into him for months and months and months, since before he was famous, or before he was whatever. He is a human trafficker, a full-blown human trafficker. There's no twisting this around to be anything other than exactly what it is. He pulled girls in through the lover boy method of human trafficking, trapped them, literally, physically trapped them in his basement, took their passports, wouldn't let them leave, and used them to get himself rich. And here we are. He didn't split the money. He had said they should give him the 100% since he cares for their needs. That makes sense. I don't know how he split it, so that makes sense. When I say split, I was assuming he's giving them some. He claimed to have given them some of the money, but they were living in one of his houses. So I'm sure he deducted rent and electricity and food and everything else from all of it. It's just absolutely evil shit. Evil, disgusting shit, straight up. No excuses for this.
A travel ban, take my passport, all this garbage. By the time I explain how hard...
Hold on, let me step back.
The level to which they tried to destroy me. How they tried to freeze all my bank accounts, raise illegal charges against me, put me in jail for things I didn't do, put a travel ban, take my passport, all this garbage.
I think it's interesting that he's complaining about people imprisoning him and taking his passport, when that is exactly what he did to those girls. I'm sorry, man. I have no sympathy for you. None. Not even a little bit.
By the time I explain how hard they tried to hurt me and failed, she'll want me. Because she'll be like, you can't kill this guy. And that's going to be it. You say a bunch of shit I don't like, but you know what? You're the man. So it is about experience, and it is different. And that's a really good point about social media. Social media amplifies all of this shit. It amplifies all these problems. Everything we're discussing, everything we've discussed back to the beginning, from status to promiscuity to your past, it's all social media. Without social media, a lot of it goes away.
Yeah.
And I think that's why me and my man last so long, is that he doesn't do social media,
Completely.
and there's nothing on there about me.
I feel like, to answer your question too, because I have had people say that as a solution, and it's like, you can run, but you cannot hide from the truth. And I have shared why my voice has been so impactful and will continue to be impactful is because I have put myself out there and I have been punished for being honest. So it's like,
Somebody in the chat says there's a video Tate did where he explained he did a 70-30 split. Well, I saw a video where he said he did a 50-50 split. So I guess we have no idea exactly what he gave those girls. He took all of their money and put it in his bank account and gave them what he felt was right, which of course includes deducting amounts for the rent that went into the house and food and everything else. Did he give them any money? Like I said, he took their passports, he locked them in the basement basically, refused to let them leave. Did they receive a penny for what they did? It was false imprisonment. It was kidnapping. It was human trafficking, plain and simple. One of the most disgusting human beings alive.
and I have shared why my voice has been so impactful and will continue to be impactful is because I have put myself out there and I have been punished for being honest. So it's like, I have been given a platform and a voice for a reason. Even sitting down in this conversation thinking there's not one person I'm probably going to agree with and probably going to want to leave, I have been called here for a reason. So it's like, I can't go against what is in my heart and what I am coded to be. And that's why I feel like it's important for me to sit here and represent people who feel like me, because it's like, I don't want to say I don't even want to say that. I just feel like I don't see a lot of women under my umbrella who feel the way that I feel. I don't see opinions shared that would be worded the way that I feel. Nothing. I feel like a lot of my thoughts are very unique, and it's kind of scary because I have been through different things. I see the world in a different place, and when I even speak online, people think I'm fucking speaking Swahili.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I know exactly what you're saying, and you're making good points. And it's just, I think that regardless of whether, like, we're talking about different positions. I compare everything to chess. I know it's annoying. We're looking at different positions on the chessboard, but the rules are still the same, right?
Okay.
No matter how bad your position is or how good your position is, you're still trying to achieve the same objectives. And you want the man to get high status, and you want the man to feel secure in himself. And I think it's very difficult. I can only talk from the male perspective because I am a man. It is very difficult. If I were to meet a woman who I liked very much, but she had X whatever, past whatever. My concerns would be, how do I know that I'm still the number one? How do I know I'm most important in her life, especially if I don't measure up in certain key metrics? And two, the second thing that's most scary.
He says, even if I know I don't measure up in certain key metrics, like what? Like, you shouldn't even need to worry about, quote unquote, key metrics. He's obsessed with money and power, and that's it. He doesn't seem to believe that, like, a personality plays any part in the decisions that people make about dating somebody.
For men is, we understand that men are constantly after what we have. Like, your inboxes are all full. Like, they may not be with guys you want to reply to, but
yeah, they're full of pics. They're not full of, like, nice messages like, oh, I would so love to meet up. I'd love to hang out. I want to buy you coffee. I want to have a good time and just be nice. No, it's full of people who are treating them the way that Tate treats women. You're a piece of trash. You're disgusting. You're sick. And then just like nonstop pics. That's basically what women's DMs look like. Trust me. Yeah, I mean, ask any woman in your life if you can see their unread messages on Instagram or whatever other thing, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about.
Guys are still trying to get it. That's the male life. The male life is people are trying to take everything from me. And that's very scary. And you have to make your man really believe like that's impossible.
Dude, what? People are always trying to take things from me. What is he talking about?
If a man truly believes that nobody can take you from him, he's going to love you in a different way. You can give me 2 carbon copies of the same chick. But one I think might cheat in the right circumstances, and one I know no matter what would never leave me. the love I'll feel for this one is a different planet to the love I'd feel for this one.
Hey, exactly. He seems to understand. Yes. Like I said earlier, women are not different from men, basically at all. Women want this exact same thing. Are you kidding me? He does seem to understand then. He's just seeing this through the lens of a man rather than through the lens of a human being.
Even though they're the same person, right? Because that's every man's biggest fear, is a woman cheating or leaving, because there's something visceral and something different about it. I know I talk things and I say men can do things and women can't and all this stuff. But like, if a woman cheats on a man, that hurts the man at a level that it doesn't hurt the woman if the man cheats on her. It's
What? Okay, wow. I got to write this one down. This is insane. Where is this guy getting these ridiculous ideas? Women aren't hurt by a man cheating the same way a man is hurt by a woman cheating. This is absolutely unglued from reality. This is nuts. Where did he get these ideas, these terrible, ridiculous ideas? Where did he hear this? Who lied to him?
I talk things and I say men can do things and women can't and all this stuff. But like, if a woman cheats on a man, that hurts the man at a level that it doesn't hurt the woman if the man cheats on her. It's different. It's different biologically. It's different.
No, it isn't. It is not. It's exactly the same in every way.
It's different evolutionarily. Like, that's what men.
No. Suddenly this guy is, a fan of science. Suddenly he likes science and accepts science, when earlier he was talking about how he doesn't read books because reading books is a beta thing to do, and you don't need to listen to other people's experiences and all this other garbage. But suddenly he's in favor of science, except he has no idea what science says about anything. He's completely full of shit.
Used to fight and die over. You talk to my chick. You look
It's
at
like
my
you cut
chick.
his dick off.
Yeah, it's like you demasculinize him on every level.
And everybody in this conversation is just sitting here agreeing with him. Are you serious? How has literally none of these women pushed back against the idea that men are hurt worse by cheating than women? This is just insane.
Level. And this is why you see these TikToks, right? You see these TikToks. Me and my man went on a break, got back together. He 20 girls, and now he's crying because I went on a date. Yes, completely yes. Because the damage level is different. It's just a different thing. So
No, it is not. It is not a different thing. It's exactly the same.
You have to understand the paradigms. You have to understand to play the game. And that's how you make men happy. And I know very well how I like to believe that I would know very well how to make a woman happy. And I know.
Well, he's wrong. He has no idea how to make a woman happy. He knows how to make a woman make him happy. He doesn't know anything about what women want or anything at all.
Oh, and whether I do that or not is a conscious decision. And that's where you get to a certain level of grandmastery where if I get a woman, I will literally decide out of 10, how happy do I want her? Does she deserve to be happy 10?
That's fucking psychotic. Are you kidding me? I'm going to get a woman and decide 1 to 10. How happy do I want her to be? I can make her as happy as I want her to be. Do I want her to be really happy, or do I just want her? How happy does she deserve to be? That's what he said. This is insane. This is like human trafficker levels of broken inside. I gotta write this one down too. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy does this woman deserve to be? This is insane.
Or should I keep her crying half the time? That it's very conscious, and women don't think that way. But I'm saying if you're a cutting woman, you could be like that. You could be a bit more like, you know what?
And the femcel. Look at the femcel's reaction to what he's saying right now.
Happy 10. Or should I keep her crying half the time? That it's very conscious, and women don't think that way. But I'm saying if you're a cutting woman, you
see, she's kind of putting her head in her hands, like, oh my God, I can't believe he just said that out loud. Of course, she believes all this stuff too. I mean, like I said, she's a femcel. She is a female incel. She's a nutcase, dude. It just blows me away that there's zero pushback right now. Zero.
You could be like that. You could be a bit more like, you know what? I want him infatuated with me. This guy ain't worth the time. That guy I want. And then when you're going to do that, just like the game of chess, if you play chess, it's not big moves that make you lose. It's small positional plays. It's that.
He's obsessed with chess because his dad was a chess grandmaster or something like that. And I guess he didn't get enough attention from his dad. That's actually true. His dad left when he was very little.
Time you argued about your favorite car. It's the time you disagreed with him about the favorite band. It's the dumb shit that adds up. Whereas really, truthfully, if you're truly smart about the game, you can get him to a point after a few months where he's like, she's my soulmate. She loves everything I love. We think the same. Our hearts are connected. Boom. And then you're
So he's trying to explain how to manipulate people. I don't know why he's proud of that, but okay.
safe. Just don't fuck it up from there. That's the game.
But I just feel like it's so contradicting to feel like what your overall message is, which is about truth. So it's like if my truth, like if it can be destroyed by the truth, it should be destroyed by the truth. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like why it's really mind-boggling to me, because I feel like how could you even be mentally, emotionally stimulated by a woman who is just agreeable and it doesn't have her own mind. I just don't see that.
That is exactly what every man wants.
No, it isn't. It is not. It is actually the antithesis of what men want. How could you be interested emotionally or in a woman who is so agreeable that she doesn't have a mind of her own? Was the question. And he says, that's exactly what a man wants. No, it is not. No. That is what Andrew Tate wants. I got to write this one down, too. This is insane. Men want a dumb woman. This is basically what it said, right? This is insane. Like, I can't even believe that I'm listening to him say these words right now. It's so insane. I actually had a girlfriend that was not very intelligent, and that's when I realized that that is not what I want at all. I really want somebody who can, like, keep up with me intellectually. Like, I have actually faced this dilemma, this situation, this exact scenario that he's laying out here, and discovered that I can't stand it. It's terrible being with somebody who is not even just like quote unquote mentally inferior to me. Like, I don't think I'm like some super intelligent like genius or anything. I don't view it that way. I just don't want I want somebody who can at least carry on a conversation with me. This is the exact thing that Tate is saying men specifically do not want. It just confuses the hell out of me.
We don't want you to be complete robots. We're not saying we can't have a joke with you. We can't say we can't have a laugh with you. We're not saying you can't have a personality. But when it comes to things like agreement, there is not a single man in the world who's going to say, she's too agreeable. She just agrees with me on it. She agrees with me on all the important things in my life. She's too agreeable. I want someone else. Fuck no. You're completely and utterly wrong on that point. It's a huge point. This idea that, I understand if you're a complete doormat and you set no standards, men might walk all over you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about agreeability and agreeableness as a whole.
Okay, what does he mean? I'm not saying you should be a doormat and let men walk all over you. I don't understand what he means by that. He specifically said women should shut up and listen to their man. Just obey him as the authority over them. That's what he said. That's what we're working with right now.
Men love the idea of an agreeable woman because it gives status and it makes the man feel like he's a teacher and it makes the man feel in charge and it satisfies his ego. And
No. I don't want any of that. Like, what's he even talking about?
to you, they may be small, little, tiny points, but to him, they're a big deal. If I were to sit, I'm telling you right now, if I were to sit with one of my chicks or whatever, or my chick, and I'll just sit in the Lambo and say, Lambo's the best car of all of them. I prefer the Lambo. And she goes, I don't like that one. Da, da, da. I'm like, listen, I bought them all, and I fucking said this is the best one. Shut up. And it would annoy me because that's my reality. I want her to become part of my reality. It's the thing. And you talk about truth. It's interesting because the truth of your heart and the truth of your soul is to be happy. That's truth.
What the fuck does that mean? That's like a deepity. I don't think it's technically a deepity because a deepity has a very specific... But it sounds like it's deep when it's really not at all. It's just garbage that he's spewing. That makes no sense.
The truth is for you to end up happy. Now, if you have to sit there and agree on especially on a subject you don't give a fuck about, right? If it's something you care about and you are very knowledgeable about, if it's ancient Roman history and you have a degree in ancient Rome, then fine, argue the point. But if it's cars or something you don't even give a shit about,
Make it easy.
yeah, you're missing the chance to get points on the scoreboard, an easy free throw. And you're just fucking it up going, why?
Again, he started from one position and then he ended up here. So right now he's arguing that women should be nice and agreeable and just, make their boyfriend or husband or whatever feel good about himself. That's not where it started. It started out with women should obey men and listen to everything that they say and do what they tell the woman to do without question. He doesn't need to give his justification. That's where we started. This is why is he even bothering to defend this point now? It's pointless. Okay, we got a message from Super Nerd here. Tate Sr. was an international master, one step below Grandmaster. His peak rating is in the 2500s, which is Grandmaster level, but he never earned his norm, so he was never officially Grandmaster. Oh, interesting. Okay. Had no idea. That's actually really interesting. Thanks for that information.
What? The truth is just play the game and win. That's the truth.
Andrew could be the best female dating
Or
coach.
just learn a couple of words.
He could be the best female dating coach. Literally a human trafficker, teaching women to shut up and be subservient to men and obey them. He could be a good dating coach. What?
It's like how many talks, horsepower.
Yeah, just
throw some words in. Like how much horsepower has it got?
That's it.
Tate, with all due respect, not all men are like that. Some men respect a woman that has her own mind. I know you and the type of men that you're speaking on behalf of.
Let me tell you something.
Like a woman that
I understand.
will just be so agreeable to everything he says. But I've dated men that just respect that I can make decisions and will actually
Submissive women have their own mind.
Yeah, completely. That's the first
there's
point.
sometimes that he might be discussing stuff that he might want to be discussed.
Completely.
And there's sometimes we're like, shut the fuck up and let me say what I've got to say.
Yes, completely.
And maybe, I don't even believe in star signs, but my man's a Sagittarius. So all this illogical
we're
stuff
the
and
best.
feelings and emotions and no, you don't cry about shit. Shut up, get on with it. Your head's big, get on with it.
Completely. And submissive women have their own mind, but this is something else you have to take into consideration. And this is super important and super true. The reason a lot of women
When he says it's super important and super true, it's going to be complete bullshit.
don't truly understand a lot of things.
All right, let me step back and listen again. Sorry.
Head's big, get on with it.
Completely. And submissive women have their own mind, but this is something else you have to take into consideration. And this is super important and super true. The reason a lot of women don't truly understand a lot of things about relationships and how it works with men, etc., is because men will lie to you. Men lie for the same reason you wear makeup, because men fall in love with what they see. Men fall in love with what they see, and women fall in love with what they hear. So we will lie to you. So you'll go on a date with a guy, and you'll sit there and say, I don't listen to no, I'm independent, da-da-da. And what's that man going to say?
Oh, I love that.
That's exactly the kind of woman I want. It's a fucking lie. That is not what he wants. It's not what he wants. I'm telling you the truth of what he wants.
Okay, so the girl says there are some men out there that are interested in intelligent women who can have a conversation and whatever else. And he says, men lie. They don't actually want that. They're just telling you that so that they can get you into bed, basically. That's what he's saying, right? It's just ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, he can't be bothered to argue with you at dinner. Because he doesn't, and you know what? Most men aren't smooth enough to do it. I can sit with a chick and disagree with her and be funny enough and smart enough and charismatic enough and I'm high status enough and she respects me enough to listen. But if I'm just some normal dude and I start arguing with a chick, she's going to bounce on the dinner and say, fuck you.
Yeah.
See ya. So most dudes' mating strategy is just pure agreement. Yeah. Anything to get the, because they're fucking dorks. That's fine. That's the truth.
Okay, so what he's saying is everything that they disagree with him on is simply wrong, and he knows that because men will tell them anything to get him into the bed. Yeah, that's basically what he's saying.
Truth, right? A real G will sit there and say, what do you mean? I don't want to hear this shit. I'm telling you the baseline.
The only people that are honest are the people that think like me. Every other man thinks like me. They just don't want to come out and say it. It's just complete nonsense top to bottom with this guy.
of how men truly function. If I'm expected to fight and die to protect you, because that's what is expected of me by society and of you. You may think you don't expect that of me, but if we're walking down through London in the middle of the night and two guys come up with machetes, you're going to hide behind me, knowing I'm going to die because I can't win this fight. I'm expected to die to protect you. Well, then I expect you to agree with me. I'm not here to fucking die for somebody who disagrees with me on everything. That's not what I'm here to fucking... If I have that obligation to die on the spot for you, you have the obligation to pretend you like BMWs.
Dude, this is insane. He's saying he wants somebody to just pretend if she doesn't agree with everything that he says and pretend that she does, because I'm not going to die for you if not. Like, when would he even die for somebody? Has he ever been faced with a situation? I mean, Andrew Tate, has he ever been in a position where he had to fight somebody in person to protect somebody's life? Has this ever happened to this guy? Even once? I'd be willing to bet it hasn't happened. Never.
Do your fucking part and shut up. And that's the bottom line of it.
And you know the difference is, the only difference, like he's top G, and I was like, the only difference between him and my man and the level of respect is money. That's the only difference.
And this is
the same way he talks, the same way he is.
I don't listen to my
but
man.
people
Of course
say like,
I listen to
oh,
my man
only owns 40,000, so he can't talk to me the way Andrew Tate talks to his. Why not?
Completely. And
no, I
that's
think money is a big factor though. Because
it's not.
In a beautiful relationship.
You can't have a woman that's paying her own bills. She's doing everything for herself.
I mean, she's a man.
And then you're gonna tell her
if she's paying her own bills, it means she's a man. She said, "Oh my God."
Of course, but I'm saying...
do this. But you're different.
Do you not work, Auntie
She
Jenny?
doesn't need to work. You take all that stress away from her.
I don't work.
Then she'll be a lot more
Why
stable.
why does money have to matter for submission?
That's what I mean. I don't work.
If you have enough money to make sure that she doesn't need to work, go and deal with her boss every day, deal with all this stress, all these bills, then of course she's going to look up to you and be like, okay, he pays my bills. You know
my man must own about 40,000. I don't work.
I'm like, you know what? I grew up in a 1% family. I never expected a dude to pay for everything. I don't know.
I don't.
But I still think like, and I just like both of my parents worked, but my mom still submitted to my dad. Like it wasn't.
The point is this.
But she shouldn't have to. They should work together in this relationship and be partners, right? No, this woman is a femcel. She thinks that women should shut up and obey the man. My God, dude. Her parents' relationship must have been so ass backwards to produce somebody with views like this. It is so bizarre to see somebody who believes this stuff. See a woman who believes this stuff. Like, oh my God.
Every relationship that's beautiful, every relationship that's happy, regardless of the socioeconomic scale, regardless of how rich or poor they are, regardless of how famous they are, regardless of how whatever. In every relationship where people are truly happy, pay attention. The man is in charge. He's the top G of that house. His woman makes him feel that way. She respects him for what he does, and they are happy. We're talking about me out here in the world, social media, whatever. It doesn't matter. Every man wants to be the man of his household, the king of his castle. Every single happy...
I don't care about that. What does that even mean exactly, being the man of the household?
Happy relationship is the same. I genuinely implore you to name a happy relationship where the woman's in charge.
Okay, it doesn't have to be like one person is in charge. I don't think that like I or my wife are in charge of the other person. Like we're just both a couple of people just chilling, killing, the usual. Like, nobody is in charge of anybody else.
Name one. You can't. They end up broken up.
He's creating a false dichotomy here. This is another propagandistic framing.
She leaves him. Whatever. Name a happy relationship where the woman doesn't blindly say, okay, I won't go to that concert.
This relationship that I'm in. Boom. Just like that. So he's trying to reframe it to seem like this just doesn't happen. He's reframing it in a really ridiculous way, in a way that relationships just don't operate. In almost every relationship on planet Earth, either the man is like in charge of everything and the woman listens to the man, like in his scenario, or the two people view themselves as equals. There isn't almost ever a situation where a woman dominates over a man in the way that he's describing himself dominating over women. Because men seem to be like the only ones that have this weird societal like pressure to be like this in the first place. Like, he's just making up scenarios here that are complete nonsense top to bottom. He sounds like a child who has no substance to his beliefs or ideas. Like, he hasn't thought about anything at great length, honestly. It's like the stupidest stuff I've ever heard in my life coming out of his mouth, and he seems to legit believe it. Aside from Tate being a useless piece of shit, he's completely ignoring that both sex and gender are on a spectrum. Also, his statements are a perversion of psychology and sociology. Yeah, 100%. They absolutely are. He has no idea what he's talking about. He pretends to. He doesn't have any clue. He pretends that he's got all of this figured out and this is all backed up by psychology. It's not at all. It's not backed up by studies or psychology or anything else. Dude doesn't know the definition of a fulfilling partnership, never mind its value. 100% agree, Ken Panda, yeah. Thanks for the sub, I appreciate it. Has no idea and doesn't seem to care.
There's only one framework in which people are happy. With the man in charge, the woman trusts and respects him enough to let him be in charge, and they're a happy couple in relationship.
No, that's simply false. I'm perfectly happy in my relationship, and it's not like I'm in charge of anything. We live our lives, and we're partners in everyday life, and that's about it.
Any other type of relationship is a time bomb to the end. So if you want a happy relationship...
No, I've been in my relationship for, how long? 2019, I think, or 20... Yeah, it was 2019. Yep, 2019. So it was early 2019. Basically the whole year we were in this relationship. Yeah, I think about 5 years, give or take.
That's what you should be aiming for. You need to be perspicacious enough and think about these things and sit and go, well, that's the only way relationships work. So I need to build it that way.
I think
instead of coming along and believing you're going to reinvent the wheel.
Okay,
so Tate,
I want to
guys.
I want to hit one more topic because we're running out of time. So I want to actually give the ladies a chance to say, what do you guys disagree with from the red pill and men's centric content?
So red pill is basically what Andrew Tate believes. If you're unfamiliar with this term, it's incel ideology, pretty much, I think.
Can I go first?
No.
I'm submissive, though.
No, Brittany can go first.
I'm not really familiar with all of the topics. I'm assuming, like, the stuff that you guys talk about are considered the red pill. It's not even, like, about, like, disagreeing. I think I can respect someone's point of view and understand where that truth exists for a lot of people, and I just feel like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know. I don't really disagree. It's just a perspective on life. I'm not here to be like, you're wrong for thinking like that. You're wrong for...
I am. Why is it so hard to say somebody is wrong for thinking like this or that? It is wrong for them to view women as property, plain and simple. That should not be controversial to say.
Categorizing using...
It's wrong to say Jews are evil and they run the media, or it's wrong to say I love Hitler the way Kanye did. Some of these things are wrong, and it's okay to say that.
This scale, using that, like, it's a perspective. It's valid. And
no, it's not. Not every perspective is valid. It's not, like, it's all based on lies and half-truths and distortions. It is an opinion that is based on bullshit. And as such, it is not valid.
And I totally see certain angles. Like, there's a lot of stuff that was said that, I mean, there's so many people on this panel, it's hard to talk, but it's like, there's a lot of things I said, okay, maybe I don't agree with, just because, again, my walk of life and what I've seen and how I feel and how I choose to be empathetic towards people, regardless of whatever they've been through. But I don't really...
So it's more, for you, it's the lack of empathy sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Esther go.
You're punishing me, yeah? No worries, but we'll talk.
See, what I don't really agree with is the incel culture of men feeling like they're entitled to a woman. A lot of men don't look good. They don't got money. They don't do anything for themselves. And they expect women to want to have sex with them, women to want to be with them. Why should she want to be with
but
you?
let me ask you a very important.
Why?
Let me ask you a very important question. Those delusional men, do they sleep with women?
Of course not.
Okay.
But they get angry. You see them in Pearl's comments. Oh, she's a modern woman. It's like, no, she doesn't want you because you are a lowlife. Get over it. Go and work. Go to the gym. Go and work on yourself. Go out and get a job. Go and get some money.
The red pill
they just cry about it.
That's what most of the men-centric content tells guys to do. Go to the gym, get your money up, like that sort of thing. Learn game.
No, but that's not what they're doing. What they're doing is saying, oh, women are delusional. Oh, women want this.
Why
women know what they want. If you want those women, go and do what they want. And then you'll be chosen.
You don't have to worry about the men that aren't getting laid and all the women are ignoring. Okay, yeah, YouTube comments. But besides YouTube comments, they have no voice in society and they don't.
Are you kidding me? To have no voice in society? Andrew Tate is like King Incel. What's his name? Jordan Peterson is King Incel. There are a ton of voices in society for incels. Like 1 billion of them. They're all over the place. And they're massively famous. Some of the most famous and listened to people on planet Earth. They don't have a voice. My ass. They have a way bigger voice than, say, the atheist community. Like, way bigger. They have a bigger voice in Scientology. Incels do, in fact, have a voice. Unfortunately, it's an extremist movement and a hate group. So the voices that they have, like Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson, are spreading a message of pure, unadulterated hate.
Exist and nobody gives a shit, right? So this is what I was saying earlier about reality slaps men in the face and shows them their place very quickly, because all these men, reality is showing them their place. There are women who are disagreeable and unlikable and doing wrong things and acting badly and fucking up how to make a man attracted to them, and they're not being slapped in the face by reality because they're still ending up with a partner. So this is the point we're trying to make here. I agree. I know what you're saying about red pill. There's a whole bunch of bitter, hate-filled guys. I agree with that.
Yes. Can I just drop another comment? When I came on your show, they were in my DMs. I'm thinking, do you not have things to do with your life? Like the fact that you sit on Pearl's little comments and then come into my social media and then slide in my DMs. Like, you really have nothing to do with your life.
Were they hitting on you? Or were they like
Oh, no, they were calling me a misandrist.
Some girls get hit on even after they insult.
Oh, no, they were calling me a misandrist because...
Oh, I'm sure she's probably getting hit on too. But being hit on is probably not even an accurate description of what happens. I mean, just pics being sent nonstop. You have no idea how often women get sent like pics and stuff. It's like nonstop. So I'm sure there was a lot of that too. It's kind of like a control tactic. You know, I can force you to see what I want you to see or do what I want you to do or whatever. It's kind of like... I think it's kind of the same reasoning behind why people... It's not just for the gratification of it. It's very much because of the control that comes along with it.
The fact that we just don't want you. Like, get over it.
Well, that's just the internet, though. Like, I get death threats. I get like people insult me.
Yeah, but
people make videos. Like,
I
just think like you go on the internet, duh. Like,
that's not necessarily the case. And also, you shouldn't have to accept that. That shouldn't be the standard. She's just accepting it. Like, oh, whatever, you know, you get death threats, you get pics, you get people harassing you. You know, whatever, that happens. Shouldn't be like that. They should, at the very least, not condone it, which is what she's doing. They should at least call it out for what it is. Disgusting behavior from disgusting people. No, she's not doing that. She's justifying it and condoning it and saying, that's what it is, you know. These are still good people. I still agree with them on everything. Women are still worthless. That's basically what she's doing right now. And for the record, I almost never get death threats. I've had a few. Honestly, I almost never get negative comments, or I almost never see them at the very least. I've only had like a few that really stuck out to me. One of them came in on SoundCloud, of all platforms. That's where my podcast is hosted. Let me just pull it up real quick, because it was kind of entertaining. Okay, here we go. Ready? Here's I don't think it's a death threat. It's just a really negative comment I got, and I'm entertained by it, so check this out. Fuck you leftard fucking moron. Republicans and Trump supporters did not cause any insurrection, you F word for gay people. That was all Democrats, a plot to frame MAGAs and patriots. The real insurrection happened on November 3rd, asshole. January 6th was the protest. You are the reason people ever believed in censorship and canceling idiots for their verbal garbage. You're a moron. Wait, I feel like he's insulting his side with this, but okay. You're a moron, so ignorant to what is going on, you woke-tard. Okay. Conspiracies are not conspiracies when they are true, F word for gay people. The vax is poison. I bet you got all jabbed up though, huh? Hope it kills you slow and painful. It's no wonder no one listens to your horse shit podcast. Go jump off a cliff, you worthless loser. I think it's funny. You do not matter, and stop saying shit like R word, you. God, no, I'm saying this stuff. I'm gonna have so much censoring to do. Yeah, I usually say R word, but I did say it a minute ago just because sometimes when I'm reading something, I probably would have said R word if I knew that word had been coming up when I was reading it. But anyway, I prefer not to say that word. Speak like an adult, you virtue signaling. Oh, God. Do I say it? I guess I'll cut it out later. Speak like an adult, you virtue signaling. Deliberately ignorant and obnoxiously arrogant pieces of shit like you should be rounded up and launched into the sun. Fuck off and die. Shove your worthless podcast up your ass, you inbred. So, I think that's so funny, dude. This guy's so worked up that he found where I host my podcast and decided to come to me and talk shit. Wow, dude. I got to this guy deep, didn't I? He is very mad. Okay, let's keep listening to Pearl talk, justify that kind of thing. Like that's what we're talking about right now. She's justifying that. Yeah, you're gonna get insulted on the internet.
Who hasn't been
But
insulted?
it's obviously it's quite hard, especially when you're receiving a lot of hate from.
And you shouldn't be justifying it. That's what she's doing. She's justifying this kind of behavior. Why is she justifying it? This is wrong. Call it out. And there's people on her side, too. Point out that it's evil, it's wrong, it's disgusting. You shouldn't stand for that.
From all these men.
I mean, I get it. I've had hundreds of videos made on TikTok like that go.
Dude, I can't stand how she just keeps saying it over. I've had because somebody's trying to get their point out. She can't just let them say what they want to fucking say. Just let her get it out, and then you can talk instead of saying I've had like a broken fucking record.
Quite hard, especially when you're receiving a lot of hate from all these men.
I mean, I get it. I've had hundreds of videos made on TikTok like that go after my appearance. It happens to me like every single day.
You called a girl a whale.
She's a Pisces. She's a Pisces.
She called a girl a whale. Yeah, she refers to people who are bigger than 120 pounds as whales, basically, from my knowledge.
Pearl, you called somebody a whale. That is a big insult.
One. I called her a whale after she attacked me. After she attacked me, she knocks the mic out of my hand. She called me a slag. I didn't know what that meant at the time. Okay, I had no idea what that meant. She called me a slag, put the mic out of my hand. So, of course, I'm going to...
I don't know what that means. Let me look it up. Slag is actually... like the stuff that comes, like the sparks that come off of like a welding equipment when you're welding. Stony waste matter separated from metals during the smelting or refining of ore. Apparently, that's what slag is actually. Oh, apparently it means a woman who has many sexual partners. I didn't know that. So why wouldn't you just use the term slut? Oh, I guess it's British slang. Okay. Well, knowing is half the battle, I suppose, right?
I'm gonna call her a whale. You attacked me first. That's what they never talk about. You got...
Okay, I don't believe a word out of her mouth. I think she's completely full of shit. I have no reason to believe that she was attacked first. She attacks people constantly. That's like her whole bit. But either way, there's no justification for calling somebody a whale, period. I don't care.
Called away because you attacked me.
I missed a good episode, it sounds like.
No, it was a
street interview. And this girl, she like knocks the mic out of my hand and they're pulling her back. You slag. And I was like, you're effing whale.
Drunken females.
But it was like, that was a response. I've never called someone on my show a whale individually.
But when I came on your show, you were quite rude to me. I'm not gonna lie. No, I'm not gonna lie. The way you conduct your show today was great. Today was great. But when I was on your show last time, you were like, why you talk too much? I'm thinking, who is this woman talking to me like that? I'm not a child. But that's the thing.
Because you kept interrupting everybody the whole show. That's what happened. You kept interrupting.
She didn't interrupt anybody any more than anyone else. Like, I've seen other episodes of this show with Pearl and others, and Pearl is honestly absolutely terrible. Like, really, really mean to people for no reason. Just tries to force other people to bend to her will all the time. That's her whole bit. Like, that's what she does. That's what she's all about on this show. So, yeah.
So were you.
Because I'm the host.
Yeah,
so today it's like we have a bit.
So just because you're the host means that you can be a complete to everybody, right? You're allowed to do whatever you want, be terrible and mean and rude to everybody because you're the host. She didn't say moderator, she said host. First of all, if she was moderating a debate and she needed to keep things like tight and lined up and all that, fine. I get that. Sometimes you got to lay it on the line. But she was interrupting people to insert her own commentary. Moderators do not insert their own commentary. She was acting like another debater and railroading right over top of people rather than letting them have their moment to talk. And she's being absolutely terrible in the process.
Big gusto.
This is how she propagandizes. Once again, she's twisting things around and warping it out of proportion completely, making it seem like everything is everyone else's fault when she was the one acting terrible. So don't believe this whale stuff where she attacked you first or whatever other thing. Like, I don't believe anything out of this woman's mouth without hard evidence.
No, I'm going to let him talk. But and no offense, you're just a normal guest. And normal guests, we don't let dominate the entire conversation.
I wasn't dominating the
conversation. You probably talked 70% of the time. And so I have to interrupt you and stop you because you're talking and nobody else in the room had a chance. And nobody else in the room had a chance to talk. I understand I interrupt.
Yeah, I don't trust a word out of Pearl's mouth. I'm sorry. Just Pearly. My mistake. Or Pearly things. That's what she prefers to be called. My mistake. Yeah, I don't believe a word out of her mouth.
People, but that's part of your job as a host is to control the conversation.
No, that's your job as a moderator. She wasn't acting like a moderator. She contributes to these conversations regularly.
And if anything, I probably control the conversation less than I should compared to most hosts.
No, but I think it's the way that you were rude. You could just be like, okay, let the next person talk. You were like, why you talk to me? That is so rude.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a really good point. And what's Pearly Things going to say to this? She's just going to continue to deny and pretend that everyone else is at fault when she's the one that is absolutely terrible and causing problems.
Because we had tried multiple times to tell you nicely. Multiple times to tell you nicely, and it just kept escalating.
That is not true. I think you're trying to gaslight me right now because that's not true.
Okay.
The thing is, you didn't agree with what I was saying, and then you and Auntie resorted to insults.
It wasn't an insult.
Yep, that's true.
But that's the reason I would say. I'm not coming for you right now because you know what? It's your show. But what I'm trying to say is...
You are coming for us.
No, she's coming for Pearly Things, not them. Suddenly she's including herself in this whole mess? What?
Open your mouth. You are coming for us.
Listen, what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is...
How was I rude to you? No, how was I rude to you? Why you call my name into it? How was I rude to you?
But you were rude.
How was I rude?
You were rude.
This is just my point of view. You told a story where you said In other, you didn't say
you're too nice about it, Pearl. You're saying it too nice. Listen, right? You come on the show. You come on the show, right? I don't care right now because you come on the show.
On the streets. Can you calm down?
You come on here.
You sound like a hooligan. Please just slow down.
If I sound like a hooligan, don't tell me about calm down, right?
Because you're shouting at me. Why are you shouting at me?
Oh my God, this is a mess now. Holy Christ on a cracker. The woman in brown is correct. In this whole situation, like, you know, Pearly things or whatever was absolutely terrible to everybody involved, and honestly, so is the woman in red here. She's been insufferable in like all of these situations.
Hang on. I heard Mr. Tate talking, right, with passion, right, and loud. I had nobody tell him to calm down, right? You're there shouting off your mouth, right? I am being loud. I am being loud. Don't tell me about calm down. Because when he was talking, who was you screeching at? Listen, right, as far as I'm concerned, don't even think about coming on per show and disrespecting her. You don't.
Oh, give me a fucking break. All right, I'm skipping forward. I am burned out on listening to this garbage.
Happens to you.
Oh, wait. Apparently they inserted, like, some kind of a... Okay, let's step back 20 seconds. Listen from here.
Guys.
You can't do that. Don't come and say the podcast. Have some manners, auntie. Like, what? I don't understand this.
Stop.
Manners.
Stop. Okay.
All right, guys, let's take a second to...
That was ridiculous and stupid. Okay, let's step forward. I don't care about her weird sponsors. Okay, let's go from here.
Right. But that's just my opinion. You think I was rude? Okay.
I was just trying to explain why the women came for you.
To be fair, then you called me racist and sexist on another.
She is. She's racist and sexist. That's absolutely true.
I said your followers were racist because they called me a degenerate Nigerian woman.
Okay.
Did they not?
Okay.
Did they not?
Okay.
Proving him right.
Okay.
She's like laughing at this. They called her a degenerate Nigerian woman, and Pearl is laughing at this. This is insufferable and fucking disgusting.
So your disagreement, your disagreement. Let's go back to the topic. Your disagreement with the red pill.
Oh, so the incel culture.
The incel. You don't like the bad comments. Okay.
No, not the bad comments. The fact that they just feel entitled.
Okay.
When women say what they want, they feel so entitled that women need to change that. It's like, no, women like what they like. Just like a man likes a woman that looks good, a woman that cooks, a woman that's younger. Like he said, someone that's not been traumatized, that's not been through so much experience. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't cry about it, you know?
Yes, we do.
Do you know what women do now?
Yes, wait. I need to stop you there. Yes, we do. What is body positivity? What is slut shaming? We do cry about it, and we cry about it loud on every social media platform. We do.
Yep.
Wait, I missed. We cry about how we're treated? I mean, I don't think it's crying about it. It's pointing it out and, saying this shouldn't happen. This is wrong. It's disgusting. Like, if somebody sends you a dick pic, some dude right into your DMs when it was not requested and not wanted, is it crying about it for you to say, don't do this? This is disgusting and wrong, and what is wrong with you? Of course it's not. This is another good example of how she propagandizes about things. Any pushback, any complaints at all, any criticisms whatsoever are viewed as crying about it. Don't cry about it. Don't dwell on it. Just move on with your life.
Wait, I'm just going to give you an equivalent. There's no short man shaming. No, you don't hear the men crying about that. Women, by and large,
cry about it.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. People complain all the time about the fact that women are obsessed with really tall men. I don't think the vast majority of women even give a shit about how tall a man is. But the ones that do care about this are called out for it. Like, you shouldn't shame men for being short. That's kind of weird, right? That totally exists.
Do you see short men being pushed to be on the cover of magazines?
Why would they push to have short men on the cover of magazines? You can't tell how tall somebody is just in a vacuum, just in a picture. Like, you have no idea how tall people are on TV shows because you have no context.
They say we need more short men, short male models.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Where they're putting plus size women on the cover of magazines.
Tom Cruise
okay.
is short as
I think he's like 5'8" to 5'10", which is average actually. Like most women don't know. Only 15% of men over 6 foot.
Yeah.
Okay,
but I think everyone should be positive about what they have. Like, you know what? If you don't have money, like, own it. Be happy with yourself. And just because a woman doesn't want you, that's okay.
This is such a vapid and empty conversation that I just have nothing to say about it.
Hey.
It's fine. I agree with you, but I'm saying like men have to deal with the consequences. Like an average chick can still sleep with an NBA player. Who's like
That's
a top 10%.
They want.
Okay. I'll give you an example. Okay, I've had guys on that level message me. I think I'm an average chick. I would never in my right mind.
She's not average. As far as looks go, I don't know. I'm not assessing that, but she is by no stretch of the imagination average. She is filthy rich. Her dad is within the top 1%. She runs a massive podcast with like 1 million subbies on it or something. She's incredibly famous. All that stuff combined makes her really, really, makes her in the top 10%, in the top 1% maybe, of people that would be messaged. So this is a bad example, a really bad example. And she knows that too, I'd be willing to bet. She knows it's a bad example because there are unique things about her that make her more desirable by other people. But she's going to completely ignore that stuff.
Think that any of them would take me like.
But you're rich.
But I'm.
Pearl, they want your money.
Men don't care about your money. No, they don't.
You got to be fucking kidding me. She goes into Olympic levels of mental gymnastics. This is insane.
They don't. Okay,
Some men do.
Pearl's not rich. Pearl is not rich.
Pearl is rich. Pearl is rich. 100%. No doubt about it. I am a YouTuber. I know how much YouTubers make on a daily basis. Pearl is rich.
She's from a rich background.
So
they're seeing
but I'm saying men don't care about your money. So
some
that's
men
nothing.
do.
Yes, they do. Men care about your money just as much as women care about money. Everybody cares about money. Everybody wants money. Money is attractive. Money is interesting. Now, to be with somebody who is only interested in your money, that's not very common, I don't think. But money is most definitely an amplifier in the sense that if you have a lot of it, you're going to be a lot more attractive to people. That's just a fact.
That's bums. Bums care about your money. Okay, I personally don't like bums. That's just not my thing. That might be your thing.
Okay, you want a high value man.
I'm not saying high.
She's twisting it around and she's diverting and pivoting and doing everything she can to pull people off track and mix the conversation up and confuse it and make it seem like they're talking about something completely unrelated so she can get a win on a totally different unrelated point. That's how she does this.
Value. I'm saying I don't like guys that don't have jobs. Just for
Can I just say something that's going to shock everybody? I would like to hear what Denalva's got to say now.
Oh my days! You know how much I've been holding on to my seat. Like, when is it my turn to unleash everything that's been in my head? Okay, cool. Question was again, sorry.
What do you disagree with from the red pill?
What I disagree with the red pill movement is the fact that it fails to understand that it has extreme limitations because you focus a lot on the extremities of things. And I will revert that back to me. I don't think the red pill addresses the fact that there were a lot of housewives that were left widowed quite young and therefore had no choice but to step up in transition into a strong and evolved modern woman. And I say that because my dad passed away when I was 12 and I didn't have a man in my life to be able to show me the way. Not only because there's really just not many men in my life, because my mom focused her energies and efforts into raising us and providing for us because she didn't have a man. And I don't think it would be fair to even expect my mom to, when we're all 12, 13, 14, to go and find a new man, because actually that creates even more issues within the home for us to even to accept him, especially because we had a close relationship with my dad. With that said, what the red pill movement fails to address, empathize with, and look for a solution is for all the women and the men that come from these sort of homes where actually it is not your fault that you are a product of your environment. So when you were telling me about housewife,
is it just me, or is this all completely empty and vacuous and vapid? I don't understand what she's saying. My mind is wandering. I'm doing my best here. What's she trying to even communicate right now?
Masculine, you this, you that. I have to say, my mom raised 4 daughters on her own. By my age, she had the 4 of us moved freshly to the UK. Of course, she's going to hustle. Of course, I'm going to go through education. Of course, I'm going to work. Of course, I'm going to have to be strong with myself because there's no man to protect me. So because I've had this sort of background, I've had this sort of experience, people tell me your traumas make you less likable, or maybe you're too masculine as a woman. No.
Oh, okay. Because Tate was talking about that earlier.
I am a survivor of a woman, actually, because I didn't have men around me. And I am actually, again, also capable of being a wife. I know how to cook. I know how to actually speak to my man, please him verbally and physically.
Okay, so what's the disagreement?
And I'll explain to you the submission side of things, where I've actually the whole show I've proved that without having any friction with Andrew Tate. As much as he may even say that may not be desirable or not, but I come up with my own solutions where I don't have to compromise who I am, but I can still please you as a man. You told me your favorite car is that one, even though I like that one. I'm like,
that's actually a really good point, what she just said.
Do you know what? I like that one, but looking at yours is really nice too, you know. I really like you. You got good taste. It's that simple. What people
That's a good point, but, you know, that's not really, like, that's a position that Tate defended. That's not really what he believes. She's arguing a point that Tate backed himself into after criticism. The real thing Tate believes is women should shut the fuck up, sit in the corner, and obey a man. That's where he started. And by the end of the conversation, he backed himself into the corner of women should be agreeable and kind and nice. That's the point she's engaging with right now, that she is agreeable, kind, and nice, but can have her own opinion. That's not what he believes at all.
What people are failing to do with the Red Pill movement is...
And why is he playing with these balls over here? That's kind of weird.
...is to understand that there can be a compromise. Because I've had to compromise my life as a woman to be able to survive, because I didn't have a man around me.
Okay, you think the Red Pill doesn't agree with...
No.
Believe in compromise?
No, it doesn't deal with the victims of society, of situations that it's just life.
Okay.
She, obviously, being a femcel, completely disagrees with that assessment of, of the Red Pill community, of the incel community. She thinks incels are right about everything. This is just insane. How do you get here? How do you get to this point in your life where you agree with incels as a woman? What the fuck?
Do you have any points for them? Both of those?
Yeah, I can talk about the Red Pill. I can complain about it just too. I think there is, to be fair, I do think there is a lot of angry, bitter men which are attracted to it. And those are the ones that will leave these stupid comments. My point was my point is that they're already being punished by God and by society, so don't worry about it. My point is that if a woman doesn't act correctly, she doesn't feel the true sting of punishment. Not in her prime years. She may feel it later, but in her prime years, it doesn't fucking even matter, which is why they do it. Whereas if a man doesn't have his shit in order, trust me, he knows very well, because his reality sucks. And that's why he's sending you DMs, because he's lonely. Because if he had a life, he wouldn't bother, right? So there's that part of it. It does attract a lot of angry, bitter people, but I think that's...
Okay, I'm not even sure what he's trying to get at here, but all right.
Because life's very difficult as a man, like we said earlier, and some of them end up angry and bitter. The answer to all things, I believe, whether you're a man or you're a woman, to try and heal all rifts between the genders, I think whether you're a man or you're a woman, the answer to all things in life is to take absolute and utter self-accountability for all the good and all the bad. You must look at yourself and realize that everything good that happened in your life is your fault, and everything bad that happens in your life is completely your fault. And with that, having that high degree of absolute accountability, it doesn't matter. Even if it rains outside, I blame myself, because I didn't have to be in London, right? I could have stayed in Dubai, and it wouldn't have rained. So I'm responsible for absolutely everything. And if you do that...
Okay, that's not exactly true. Like, there are things that are out of your control. You're not responsible for literally everything. I mean, you shouldn't blame external factors for all of your problems, but it's, you know, this is the thing. He doesn't understand moderation at all. He has no concept of moderation whatsoever. This is really the root of the problem here, but okay.
You pay attention to things and you try your very best to mitigate the negative circumstances and work your hardest, you're going to have a pretty good life. I just want to finish by saying that I believe that men and women are best as a team. I don't think any woman will be truly happy without a man, and I certainly know that no man will be happy without a woman. I think it's absolutely beautiful when we work as couples and we create families and we stick to our strengths. When men stick to what they're good at and a woman sticks to what they're good at, that makes them the most powerful team on the planet. And the world we're living in now, we have societal pressures and propagandas which are trying very hard to divide and split the genders. But truthfully, the power and the beauty of the universe relies on us working together.
So what he's doing here is he's laying that baseline stuff down. Like he said earlier that he believes that he should take care of a woman. And, everybody agreed with that. That's fine. Yes, you should, if you want to open a door for a woman, that's perfectly okay. No one has a problem with that. The hang-up is when you believe that she should obey you and you should be able to order her around and not offer justifications. And he says, everyone agrees with the baseline stuff I say, but when I build on it, you lose your mind. Yeah, obviously. Are you surprised by that? Really? And that's exactly what he's doing right now. He's laying down the baseline, basic stuff that no one has a problem with. Everybody's perfectly okay with everything that he just said. It's reasonable. Everything he said is reasonable. It's all the other shit that he said on top of it that's the problem. And he's closing out with the reasonable stuff.
So, it's been very nice speaking to you, ladies. I'm only upset that you ran out of clementines and I'm stuck with limes.
I was going to say, give this man an orange. And those are my limes, so you can
There's
keep
melon
them.
out there.
Oh, okay, we got melon. But yeah, all in all, I think it's good, and I also think that discussion is very, very important. And I think that a lot of these issues are delicate and they're nuanced, and people listening to conversations like these and hearing the different points of view and understanding each other is a fantastic way to progress. And we're entering brand new territory, and it's never been done before.
What he's talking about, brand new territory never done before, he means women being treated as equals to men. And no, that's simply false. We know exactly what happens when women are treated as equals. It's been done across the Western world. But he's using that as a basis to say we should not treat women as equals to men. Like he said this earlier in a previous part. If you doubt me, then just go watch the other parts. It's plain as day. I mean, he just comes out and says it.
And perhaps you can call me old-fashioned. I don't think it's going to be as good as it was in the olden days, but we're going to find out. So, interesting.
Okay, thank you guys all for coming. We'll do a little round of applause for the panel. So why don't we go around and any final thoughts, any social media you want to plug, you can do it now.
All right, that's where I'm going to call that. I don't want to hear about their social media. They're all dumb as dog shit, every last one of them. And the last one is even stupider than the one before. So anyways, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. Let me see if you want to, or let me know if you want to see more stuff about Tate in the comments or anything like that. I'm honestly deeply entertained by this, and I feel like it's really valuable to point out how things are twisted around and warped, especially from somebody like Just Pearly Thing. She's terrible in pretty much every way. That's all I've got for you. If you like what I do and you want to see me continue to do it, check me out on Patreon. And let me know if you want to see more stuff like this in the comments. Okay, thanks for watching, guys.